world's largest seaports, right? It has the world's 5th largest container port. It has the world's world's largest air cargo hub, even larger than Memphis. If you want to compare that, Memphis is of course the largest in the United States, but Hong Kong's air cargo turnover is even larger than that. And Hong Kong, because of its small market of 7 million people, it imports a lot of the wines, but it does not consume all the wines locally. In fact, 44% of Hong Kong's imported wines are re-exported to other parts of the region. So that is a very big number. And even for the remaining 56%, it doesn't mean that they're all consumed locally. It cannot be totally consumed because of the small population in Hong Kong. A lot of the wines are actually stored in Hong Kong for investment purposes. So, wines can age, and it makes sense, right? So that is very important to understand. And Hong Kong, despite its very small size, it has made use of what it has and converted for the use for the wine industry. Can anyone guess what it is? What do you see in this picture?
We're all set to drive safely.
Wrong answer, Siri. So this is a bunker. This was formerly a bunker.
Drive safely.
I have no idea.
So a former bunker to store ammunition, right? Today we don't use it anymore, and what do we use it for? It is very special because it is actually built underground. It's built 65 feet underground with a 3 feet thick concrete wall. And then it has a passageway of around 20 feet. So think about that. What would it be? Right? It's in perfect condition for a wine cellar. So Hong Kong, despite its shortage of space, makes use of a lot of these similar facilities, and even converting former factory buildings, industrial buildings, into storage facilities. Of course, they're temperature controlled, humidity controlled, and in Hong Kong there's even a certification system which makes sure that those wine storage are up to standard before you use them. So on top of the tax-free status of Hong Kong, a lot of the winemakers, they decide that they should export first to Hong Kong, store it, like ask a local distributor or importer who can then do the selling for them around the region. But so wine storage facilities are very important. And on top of the hardware, we were talking about the hardware, software is just equally important, right? I'll just give you a piece of statistics. Hong Kong people per person a year consumes around 5.2 liters of alcoholic beverage a year. 5 liters is not that much, really, right? So how much is it in New York? I don't know.
Yeah, the US is pretty low.
It's still pretty low, but 5 liters, okay, let me give you a benchmark. Let's say 5 liters per capita is the standard. In Japan and in Singapore, it's around 2.5 liters. So that means that Hong Kong people have generally a higher appreciation of alcoholic beverages. And what about Chinese mainland? Now, you'll be surprised. That's for liquor. But even counting liquor, it's not that much. But it's true that in the business community, right, if you're talking business, liquor or wine is part of really the culture. But if you're talking to a general person, right, they may not be drinking that much. So the per capita consumption of alcoholic beverages in China is 1.5 liters. So that means if one day the Chinese consumption of alcoholic beverages catches up to Hong Kong people's per capita standard, then you'll see a 400% growth in the market share. So Euromonitor has already released the statistics that despite the plateaued consumption of alcoholic beverages in America or in Europe, the Asian consumption of alcoholic beverages has grown 10% year by year. So this is another reason why we should consider this big market, which is underexplored. And then, okay, let's go back to the wine culture in Hong Kong. I know that you may not have heard of made in Hong Kong wine, beer. Does it really make sense? Yes, it's true that Hong Kong does not grow any grapes. So this winery in Hong Kong is called ASB Winery. They import frozen grapes from around the world, but they do make them in barrel, like oak barrels. This is the photo of a factory building previously for industrial use, and now they're having all those barrels and all the equipment for making wine in Hong Kong. Similarly for a brewery, there are a lot of craft beers as well as craft ciders, which are growing in importance in Hong Kong. A lot of them, this is guilo. Does anyone know what guilo means?
Yeah.
They heard that.
Well, I'm white. Guilo is a Caucasian male, right?
It's just foreign.
Foreign.
So non-Chinese based. Guilo is non-Chinese.
White ghost.
Yeah, literally means white ghost. Interesting. So yeah, there are these guilo beer, which means that it's brandy, of course. It has a tagline of brewing locally and catering locally, so catered for the local consumption. So pretty much like in New York City, you can see that this trend is also very prevalent in Hong Kong. And so we can see all these wines and beers and ciders are made in Hong Kong. The reason is that Hong Kong has also a very vibrant night scene. There are a lot of Michelin star restaurants, there are a lot of bars, discos, nightclubs, karaoke bars, and those are all the locations for people to consume alcoholic beverages, right? And that's probably the reason why the per capita of alcoholic consumption is much higher compared to the rest of the region. And more than that, there is also another industry built around wine consumption. You can see that there are sommelier classes, right, wine appreciation classes, and there is a trend also about a different kind of wine consumption, which is more relevant to what we are talking about today. So, have you heard of the term of cool climate wines? Cool climate wines, right? It's a very loose term, but it basically describes the wines made in cooler climate areas like New Zealand, Canada, northern France, New York State. If the year 2008 is really the watershed where people started really to appreciate wines because of the influx of a lot of wines from around the world. The first ones which were appreciated more were the ones from France and Italy, from the Old World, right? And they were a little bit stronger, right? More robust, full body, and they stand out, right? So that was the education that Hong Kong people had when the VAT and the income tax was removed. But then now we can see that the pendulum of wine appreciation has shifted gradually to the other side. So local consumers, they would like to have something lighter, which can match with the food better, right? Which has that finesse. And those are the wines coming in from the cooler climate region. So, and I did not say it myself. I just drew from a comment from Deborah Mager. Deborah Mager, has anyone heard of Deborah?
That's her wine.
So yes, she.
Well, Deborah doesn't always admit it, but she's actually from Rochester. But she's one of the few women masters of wine in the world. She refers to herself as a based in California, but she's based in Hong Kong and does a lot of wine education there.
Yes.
And I'm supporting her car. I can't remember the license plate right now. You always know it's her.
That's right. Yes. So, so Deborah is currently based in Hong Kong, and she is a master of wine, and she is an expert of local Asian taste of wines, and she also considers wine appreciation is like fashion. So sometimes you have different trends depending on different periods of the year. She has told us that yes, the appreciation of cooler climate wine has become the trend in Asia. Wine education, interesting, right? So this is another industry which was built up as a periphery of the wine appreciation culture. In Hong Kong, the Bordeaux Management School of Management, is also running a wine MBA in Hong Kong. So you can get an MBA if you're interested. This is also another interesting figure because Robert Slade was previously based in New York. He is now based in Hong Kong, and he is senior director and head of Asian wine department for Ciders. Perhaps thanks to him, Hong Kong has become one of the top 3 wine auction centers alongside New York and London. So that highlights how important it is to be in Hong Kong. Okay, so there are a lot of factors about Hong Kong and about how important it is to conduct your wine through Hong Kong. This is something very concrete that you can make use of. So currently, if you're eyeing on the Chinese mainland, right, and it was selling to the Chinese mainland, you would know that in China they have actually quite a high taxation for the import of wine. So first of all, there is a 14% import duty on wine. There is a 17% VAT, and there is also a 3% consumption tax. Right?
I think 10%.
10% consumption. Correct, around 10% consumption. So altogether, you have a tax burden of around 41% if you are selling China directly. These taxes can partly be avoided, right? And on top of that, there is also this compulsory testing system. That means that in every case of wine that you're exporting, they would take a certain quantity out so that they can do some testing services. So those are all the complicated methods, measures. But if you are exporting through Hong Kong, you may benefit from what we call the closer economic partnership agreements. This is a free trade agreement between Hong Kong and the Chinese mainland. Well, let me step back a little bit. Both Hong Kong and the Chinese mainland belong to the same country, right? China. Right? But then because of the one country, two system, sure some of you have heard of it. Hong Kong maintains its capitalist functioning of its economy, and therefore there is this free trade agreement in place between the two economies. One sovereign, two economies. And thanks to this closer economic partnership agreement, although the tax for imported wines cannot be completely removed, the tax on locally produced wines, they are completely removed. That means that the 8th estate winery just now, right, when they're importing frozen grapes and then they make the wines in Hong Kong, they can be exported to China without tax, without tariff. So that is the arrangement. Currently, you may not be thinking of that route. I'm just explaining to you what can potentially happen. But still, you can benefit from the import procedure facilitation. So currently, the time for customs clearance in the Chinese customs is an unknown period, so it can take as long as they need. But if you have already exported your wines to Hong Kong, so the wines are first imported in Hong Kong, and then re-exported to China via one of the 5 ports, including Guangzhou and Shenzhen, then you are guaranteed that their customs will be cleared within 7 days. Okay? So that's for first-time wine exports. If it is a repeated export from Hong Kong to China, then that takes only 3 days for customs clearance. And how can you benefit from the 1-day customs clearance? You will have to declare them, so you have to do the pre-evaluation documents, submit them to the relevant authorities, and then you can benefit also from the 1-day, single-day customs clearance for your wines to be exported to China. So, so these are the export facilitation measures that you may be making use of. Sure.
Is there a sunset provision for the closer economic partnership agreement?
No.
So it's forever?
Yeah.
There's no sunset clause?
No. Yeah. No, there isn't. So that, I think it's the end of my presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hands, or I will ask Susan to make a presentation, and then we can receive all your questions towards the end.
Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you.
I'm really pleased to see all of you here today. I will confess that there are some surprise attendees, and so there may not be enough of these for everybody. If people could share, especially if you're from the same office or whatever, that would be great. And I can always email you what I have here. It's basically just a 1-page, 2-sided document that's going to try to capture what you should get out of what I'm going to say. The rest of this information here is all documents and information that I can email to you, but in the interest of saving the trees, I figured I would just show you what it was, and hopefully you'll just be in touch with me if you'd like any more of this. So I am Susan Spence with the New York Wine and Grape Foundation. We're a not-for-profit trade association. We're a public-private partnership of New York State and the industry in New York State, wine and grape growers included. The information I have that I said I could email out to you comes from Euromonitor that Anthony mentioned, which is an incredible source of information. We luckily have access to that because of our work with the Market Access Program under the United States Department of Agriculture. And I'm not really at liberty to share that information broadly, but for people that are actually working markets, I feel it's okay for me to share